Do you have a toddler? Are you wondering how to teach a toddler to calm down? Well, you are not alone. There are many parents who wonder if it's even possible for toddlers to calm down. The answer is yes. In this video, that's what we're going to be talking about. Hi, I'm Nicholeen Peck. I've raised 4 children of my own, as well as taken in treatment foster children for many years. I teach parenting and communication, as well as child development, all through the lens of the principle of self-government. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you some key things that you can do to help your child calm down from a temper tantrum and do it all with the principle of self-government instead of manipulation or power struggling. My oldest son, Quentin, had temper tantrums when he was a toddler. In fact, I remember one time he didn't want to do something, and so he went to his room, stormed into there, he picked up his metal Tonka dump truck, you know, those big, huge ones with the really big wheels, and he took the dump truck and he threw it against the wall. And I thought, what has happened to my child? Is he possessed? I thought, what is going on? But he was so mad and so frustrated. And so he started yelling and crying and throwing it. Now, surely he needed someone to understand him a little bit more. I didn't know what I was doing at the time, and I wondered if we would ever get to a place where he would be able to calm himself down. Or was he one of those children that just had these out of control outbursts, and that's how he was going to be for life? Don't think that way about your little one, because toddlers have a hard time expressing themselves. They get frustrated very easily. Their anxieties are much higher than older people. Even though anyone can experience anxiety, the less you know, the smaller you are, the more anxieties you have a tendency to have. Well, he had many at the time, and I needed to develop a way to parent him and communicate with him so that he would have less anxieties. Luckily, right at this time, I decided to do treatment foster care for troubled teens. So we took in youth into our home between the ages of 12 and 18 to do treatment level care. All of these youth had different processing things such as ADHD, OCD, ODD, RAD, FAS, kleptomania, compulsive lying, anger control issues. Some of them were on the spectrum. Some of them had sensory issues, personality disorders, bipolar. You get the idea. So they had a lot of things that they were dealing with. So we went through some really high level care to take care of these young people that came to our home. Well, during the process of going through that high level care and learning the boundaries and the structure that I was going to need for these youth in order to help do treatment for them, something happened magically to my child. Well, I'm not going to say magically. That's probably not the right word, because I did do something, but it seemed almost magical to me because he changed overnight. But the environment didn't change overnight. So I started having better communication with him. I started teaching him the skills that I was teaching the children that were coming to our home as well. And he developed more security. He learned how to communicate better about things. And so because of the skill development, he changed. He stopped having tantrums and he started to just be calm and talk to me. In fact, it created a relationship that is dear to me forever. My son and I have a great relationship. We can talk about literally anything, not get offended. We problem solve together. He is an amazing adult, and it all started at this little time when he was 3 years old. I have 3 principles that I'm going to share with you that you will want to utilize in your home, but before I get to that, hit that subscribe button. There are videos like this dedicated to small children, older children, all different ages that come out on this channel every single day. You are not going to want to miss them. So subscribe now so that when you turn on that YouTube, you get a chance to see something that might help your family bonds. Principle number 1 is example. If you want your child to learn how to calm down, then you have to actually set the example of how to calm down. So I want you to think to yourself, what is your calm down plan? What do you do when you start feeling yourself fire up inside? Do you let it out at somebody? Do you walk away and isolate? Or do you have a thought process you go through, a skill set that you follow so that you can maintain your calmness and connection and be productive in your communications no matter what? Hopefully the answer is the last thing I just said, okay? That whole list of you being prepared, having the skills that you need to communicate during a time that might normally be stressful for a lot of people. This type of a skill set is truly liberating, and it will set the example for your children so that they will not think losing control is the normal. But if you or your spouse or older siblings are constantly losing control and it's not coming back into check or being talked about, then the little children think that that's the normal, and so it's okay if they lose control too. Principle number 3 is define the terms that you are going to use in your home. So what does calmness mean? You need to know that. They need to know that. You need to show this is calm. This is not calm. This voice is calm. This voice is not calm. You need to tell them what the differences are, maybe even practice some of those differences so that they can recognize when they are being calm and not. I teach self-government. The definition of self-government is being able to determine the cause and effect of any given situation and possessing a knowledge of your own behaviors so that you can control them. So that means a person has to think it's okay, healthy, safe to self-analyze every day, all day long. They've got to create a habit of it. It starts when they're little. What this means is when you've defined terms, you give them the freedom to do good analysis of themselves and the situations around them. I'll never forget the time when my son, who was 7 years old, started analyzing some of the people that he saw around him in the community. One time he saw a father helping a child into the car. The child did not want to get in his car seat and he was arching his back. He was probably about 3 or 4 years old. So the parent pulled out a phone, handed it to the child. My 7-year-old son, Porter, looked at me and said, "Oh, Mom, that is so sad." And I said, "What's so sad, Porter?" And he said, "That child doesn't want to get in his seat and he's having a tantrum. But instead of teaching that boy how to calm down, the dad is just trying to distract him with a phone. That's going to teach the boy to have a tantrum all the time just so that he can get a phone, Mom." Why did my son know that? He knew that because we had talked about self-control, about self-government, about choosing on your own to have a change of heart, about calmness, about creating a calm plan, about what it means to follow an instruction from your parents and accept no answers, to disagree appropriately, to accept consequences. By age 7, Porter could stand in front of a whole room of people and teach people how to teach their children self-government because he understood the vocabulary. He knew what he was doing, and he had analyzed his family, himself, as well as other families and people he saw around him. That made him powerful for himself and to impact others for good. As part of our preparation for calmness and creating a calm plan for our little ones, we want to make sure that we teach them about the calm down spot. So a calm down spot might be a little bench or maybe a little carpet that you have somewhere in the house where the child sits to become calm. This is not a timeout. This is just a trigger spot, a place when they're not being calm that you've taught them, you will take them. You might say something like, "Porter, you're whining," or "Porter, you're not being calm. We need to go to the calm down place." And then you take your child to the calm down place only until they're calm. If the child gets calm on the way to the calm down place, they don't even need to go to the calm down place. Then you can do a correction and they can accept their negative consequences and practice things the right way. If they have a calm down place, this will be a trigger spot for them to do that analysis, to check their body, to check their voice, and try to get it to be calm, because the language will all be about calmness. In fact, understanding the word calm is probably one of the most important vocabulary words you could teach your children and your family. Do you understand calm? Are you calm all the time with your communications? If you're like most parents, we could all use a little help with our calmness. In fact, calmness is probably the rarest quality of human life, and it's something that we have to continually work at in order to improve upon. So if you would like some help with your calmness, I have a special gift for you. I'm going to give you for free my Calm Parenting Toolkit. There is a link in the description below this video. Click the link to the Calm Parenting Toolkit and get some of the skills and helps that you need in order to master your calmness and help your children do the same.